This isn't the first time where a marijuana dispensary has been robbed in this region. Earlier in the summer, at least 2 other stores were hit, including one where an employee fought back with a bomb. It was an emotional hearing for those in attendance. The board heard 3 victim impact statements, one from Kristen French's mother, Leslie Mahaffey's mother, and a victim of sexual assault. Shauna, it could mean another chance for Uber drivers in the city. Now, one of those drivers reached out to our newsroom, informing us that the Competition Bureau is now investigating that new bylaw that was due to go into effect tomorrow. Bill, Limestone trustees just began their open session. On the agenda tonight, a motion from trustee Lori French. It's calling for a new policy seeking more transparency. More than a dozen conditions have been imposed on 28-year-old Lucas Petrini. The Parole Board of Canada has deemed him a high-risk offender due to the serious nature of the crime he has served time for. Now I'm standing here with George Cook, who is on the Board of Governors with Curling Canada. George, exciting news.
Yeah, it's extremely exciting news.
The Egginton's missing belongings were found in one of these sea canisters here, but it was actually the mover who told them where to find it. Sego, sewa gwegom. Frazer, gigom. That's my attempt at Mohawk. This means, hello everyone, I'm Frazer. It's a happy story for these parents here on Curtis Crescent. The delivery happened just after midnight on this quiet street. Paramedics say a healthy baby boy was delivered in the residence with no complications. It's been a long time coming for the owner of the Fairfield Manor East Retirement Home. The punishment by the Retirement Home Regulatory Authority comes on the heels of several allegations of mistreatment of residents in the home. It was a rare defense only used a handful of times here in Canada. 38-year-old Ryan Hartman claimed he didn't remember having sex with the victim. The owners of this farm just northwest of Belleville are devastated after losing their barn in the fire. No one was home at the time, but a number of chickens were killed in the blaze. One of the cows that will be going to the prison farm is this one named Joy, Penn Farm Joy. She was named after the Joyceville institution. She's also the offspring of one of the cows that was at the prison farm that was closed 9 years ago. Very busy morning for police here in Belleville. They responded to a serious incident at 7 a.m. They received calls that there was a male barricaded in a home. Neighbors tell me there were lots of police on scene at the time.
But 2 of the gentlemen, from my understanding, that were working, one was they were both kneeled down right here.
The robbery lasted mere minutes as at least 4 men allegedly forced their way in, even holding one worker at gunpoint, according to an employee.
And then 2 guys rushed the door, came in the back, and guns were pointed. Everybody got on the ground. You're not really going to chance anything like that, right?
It happened around 1 a.m. at Smoke on the Water, a pot dispensary in Shannonville. Scott Seymour works in the store and has a tattoo shop there as well. He says they've had teens trying to steal from them before, but they've never seen anything like this.
And there was 4 masked men, so it was taken to a whole nother level, definitely.
Seymour claims the suspects made off with jars of marijuana and the safe. In a photo provided to Global News by Smoke on the Water, employees say these men showed up at the store earlier in the day and then returned at the time of the armed robbery. This photo has not been verified by Tyndonega Police.
Cameras everywhere. They parked their car right in front of the camera, all got out without any masks on, came in earlier in the day to scout the store out.
This isn't the first time where a marijuana dispensary has been robbed in this region. Earlier in the summer, at least 2 other stores were hit, including one where an employee fought back with a bomb. Earlier in September, several suspects attempted to rob the recreational cannabis farmers market, but were scared off by a bomb-wielding employee. Seymour says it's becoming more prominent.
It's big, you know. A lot of people in the cities are hearing and they see pictures of shelves full of product and whatnot, and it just seems like an easy go, but it's not.
Tyndonega Police confirm they are looking into the robbery. No suspects have been caught at this time. Frazer Snowdon, Global News, Tyndonega, Mohawk Territory. It's a lot of work for these wallers, gathering the rocks, shaping them, and finally placing them into their desired spot. But those who do it have a passion for the skill and what they can create.
There's such kind of creativity and personality can be put into the walling.
It's boulders and limestone mixed together. This was all stone that had been cleared by our ancestors.
It's a unique skill to build field stone walls made from the very rocks you will find in a farmer's field.
And by doing that, you create, number one, a barrier to keep your animals inside of, so it's functional. But then they found, when doing this, that they created a microclimate.
Wallers came from all over to take part in the festival, including Louise Price from Belfast, Ireland, a country with one of the highest densities of dry stone walls in Europe.
I just connected with the material, I think, and the people, and the whole stories around the walls, making the walls, building them together.
If you want to look inside for a sec, you can kind of see how we built basically 2 walls back to back, a face here and a face here.
Starting from the ground up and 150 tons of stone later, this wall was built over the past few days. It's an example of an agricultural wall. Seen here is a lunkeet, where sheep can get through.
Again, this stuff will last generations.
So you gotta go just little by little.
Another workshop on display at the festival was teaching the fine art of stone carving.
It's kind of fun just going from, we started with a basic block like this and put this little template on it, and then you just kind of chop everything away.
Although it takes a lot of time and patience, the thing that sticks out the most for these wallers is they aren't only building walls, but friendships.
It's good for your soul, it's good for your heart, it's good for your community. It makes good neighbours.
Frazer Snowdon, Global News, Amherst Island.
That's more blues and sign stuff, DVDs.
It's like stepping back in time when you walk into Brian's record option with countless CDs, LPs, and even cassettes spanning decades. But an unforeseen setback has become a devastating blow for owner Brian Lipson.
I have to be closed three to 6 months, or 3 to 5 months.
Due to the extensive damage caused by water flooding his store, now he has to empty the building while they assess the damage.
All the good stuff, which is the majority of it, is going to be packaged up and is going to be put in storage because they have to access the building.
On Saturday, his business was one of several affected when water flooded a downtown building. Tommy's Restaurant and the Pita Grill and Poutine also saw water gush into their storefronts. Utilities Kingston CEO Jim Keech says although it looked like a water main break at first glance, it wasn't.
It appears that there was an issue with the cap. The cap came off the end of the service somehow, and that resulted in the flooding that took place.
Thousands of records have already been dumped into garbage bags as they were in the basement when water flooded the room up to the ceiling. Tommy Hunter, whose restaurant also took in water, has stepped up to help.
Doing what we can to help out, letting them use our outlets to plug in lights. We've been bringing them lunch.
Even trying to figure out a way to help him get back up and running.
Our open mic comedy night next week is going to be a record collecting night. We'll be accepting records, CDs, and cassette tapes as donations.
Brian is now trying to figure out his next step. He says the silver lining is how many people are there for him to help out.
But I don't feel as bad because there's all that support. And, people are good. And especially this community we have in Kingston,
Although it could be months before he opens back up, at least 2 benefit concerts are also set up to help Brian get back on his feet. Frazer Snowdon, CKWS News, Kingston.